Yes, your mothership has finally landed. You came across the BWOE, standing for these brothers with open eyes. And who am I? I am your host and your navigator through this wild world of funk, baby. Mr. Run-Up, of course. Today I got two guests off in the house. Got my partner J Soul off in here. What's up, man?
Good? New Jersey in the building. Live in effect, showing love from Arizona. Yuma to Phoenix. Hey, yo, what up? My cousin Andreas, yo, San Diego, Oceanside. Love y'all, man. You know what I mean? My only bad experiences with people close to me. All the strangers, all the strangers that kept it live in effect with me. And in Georgia, Norcross, South Norcross, Tucker World, and even Lilburn.
This nigga gave a shout out to every motherfucker body. Hey, but also too, man, in the house, I got OILCAN Harry off in here. It makes it even better. This is my pops, y'all. He came to the Smokeless Corner to come chill with us.
Yeah.
How you doing, Pop?
I'm doing all right, man. Say what's up to the Harrison clan.
Yeah.
Damn, straight like
we out here deep, you know. Well, today what we wanted to cover, man, we was talking about military issues and being in military, racism. We was talking about economics, talking about structures, and also a solution, how we can come to a solution and fight the suppression. Anyways, we're going to start over. You both served in the military, right?
This is correct.
Yeah.
So, what type of racism did you see in the military?
Hardcore racism, man. People were fighting, taking lives, injuring people, and abuse. You know, I was only 18 when I went to Vietnam, and I was the only brother in my platoon. And all those dirty details came up. It was Harrison shit burner detail.
Damn.
Harrison KP. You know, and I was trained in a lot of different areas. I was a demolition expert. Went to landmine warfare school.
Yo, blowing shit
repellent school where we repel from helicopters into LZs. So we can clear out LZs so they could bring in infantry.
LZ means landing zone.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. We all learned something on that.
Right.
Hey, Jay, so what type of racism and stuff have you seen off in there? And what did you do when you was in the military?
During my time in the military was from 2006 to December 2nd, 2011. And what I could say from as far as racism that concerned me was that as I got into my second unit, and I was in a different position of leadership, being a non-commissioned officer, and also somebody who had been actually busted down, which means I lost my rank. I went down one rank, and then I actually earned that rank back. Earning my leadership, a lot of individuals who are darker skinned than me, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I identify as Black, African American. You know, I don't like the race system, but if we want to keep it simple, being another Black man, there was some other Black men that wanted to work with me because I knew how to keep things functioning on my line, and they separated us. And what I mean by separated us, they noticed us congregating as men together, and I was mostly the focal point of that congregation. And not saying I was the leader being like, yo, like, you know what I mean, we need to do this. It's just I got this going on, we want to work, let's stay focused, and let's have some structure, let's have some organization, and let's have some power. And then just get this job done so we can go home to our wives, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Have our drink, get some pussy, you know what I mean, and move on. Excuse me.
Hey, but check this out, I feel you on that. Hey, but what's the difference between the black people that's enlisted, so-called Black people, and the white people that's enlisted? Is there a difference, or is it both the same?
There's definitely a difference, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'll tell you this right now. I couldn't yell in the face of staff and CEO of an officer or really get crazy with one of those cats and not think that something was gonna happen to me.
Right.
And what I mean by that is that I done seen, it's a different kind of culture. It's very much so a different kind of culture. If you are lighter skinned and fair skinned and you are following the orders, you're not being looked at as a threat or not being looked at as having more power than the leaders. And what I mean by the leaders are individuals who are put in leadership positions. That will most likely be whoever's put in charge or a officer of some sort, whether it's non-commissioned or commissioned. And it's about managing the power and managing the chaos. And what I noticed in that is that for me, attention is on me because I'm 6'3", dark-skinned.
Right.
And and for me, I'm smart, I'm intelligent. I was able to be ahead of other individuals, and I can prove that if we was to ever to get anybody from my units and my platoon and my work ethic and the things that we had going on and whatnot, it was about pushing us to be better according to what I believe our NCO creed was. Our non-commissioned officer creed about leadership. And I tried to live that, just like I've read the Bible and tried to live that. You're like, this is what you wanted, I'm gonna get at to you. And what I noticed is that it was appreciated because it got the work done. It wasn't appreciated of the influence you gain.
Right.
And when you gain the power of influence,
notoriety, actually, that people actually noticing those qualities that you pointed out.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's deep, though, that when you are put in a position of leadership, if you stand by your people, they'll stand by you because you let them know what's going on and that you got their back.
Yep.
And they'll work for you. They'll do anything you ask them to do.
Tell the truth.
With the limits, even when I went and I got my rank in Berlin, Germany, and I went up for specialist, and I did so well on the interview, they made me a hard stripe. And
what's that? What's the difference between a hard and a soft stripe?
A specialist is an E5, but they made me a sergeant.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because excuse me real quick, Al, because in the Army, they have a ranking system that is very similar to the Marine Corps. But here are the differences. Is that in the Army, when you go from corporal to sergeant, which is a 2-stripe holder or a 2-triangle holder to a 3-triangle holder, that is more so of a forward moving, it's for a forward ops, meaning that you're like infantry, ground troops, motor T, something that's more in a ground job that's gonna be physically.
It's like a hands-on motherfucking position.
Outside of you being taught how to go to war, it's the people who's meant to go to war. Like you're the first line when you're a sergeant in the Army.
Right.
When you're a specialist, it has like an upside down spade. And what that means, you specialize in the skirt and say you can fight, but you're more specialized in engineering. You're more specialized as transport. And if I was to be in the Army, I would have been specialized as a transporter, regardless if I could fight or not.
Right.
What he's saying is that being in his MOS that was not infantry,
right,
and him being a combat engineer, which is a specialist MOS or job,
right,
excuse me, they gave him the honor and gave him the leadership stripes of being in an MOS that is a forward moving unit.
Right.
And that's a clear leadership role because combat engineers get detailed with infantry.
And 12B40 and all our jobs, you're attached to infantry. And you go out with the infantry to pull specialized assignments.
Yep.
Like I would be sent out with infantry mechanized units. And while they moved, we had to walk in front of the personnel carriers and sweep the roads for mines.
Yep.
And when we found the mines, we would either have to blow the mines in place or pull it.
Right.
And that is a really dangerous job.
Do people get blown up? Have you seen somebody get blown up?
No, not in that sense. But I was out on a mission one time. And that's how I got injured in Vietnam. They would not let us do our job.
How so?
And because we were supposed to send out me and my squad to assist the infantry.
Right.
And all they wanted us to do was be there to pull extra guard duty.
Okay.
So when I complained and told them the only way we could pull guard duty if there was a 50% alert or greater.
Right.
So what they did to circumvent what I was saying, they called a 50% alert to put us on guard duty.
How about that?
Just like that.
So the next morning when it came time to move out, I get my squad together, we get our gear, they told us they don't have time. And I said, well, why do you have us out here? Call me a helicopter and send us back.
Talk.
So they were gonna leave us in the middle of nowhere to wait for transport and then move on without any security or anything.
Yep.
Wow, leaving guys out there naked.
So
for real,
we get on the tracks and we're moving out. And my mind came back to San Diego when I started thinking about my mother and stuff, and we hit a landmine.
Damn.
And I got blown up, and I flipped,
Yep.
and I landed back on an open hatch in the personnel carrier and fell inside on the ammo boxes.
Damn.
And we found ourselves right in the middle of an ambush.
Yeah.
So they had to call for support.
So my listeners can really get, what's an ambush?
That's when unsuspectingly and unknowing the enemy is around you and they open up fire on you.
Okay, so you got bullets coming from all different directions coming at you off the top.
And that would be referred to as a contact.
And all I could do was hand the ammo up.
Mm-hmm.
And then after we got the area cleared out, they brought in medevac.
Uh-huh.
They medevaced me on the bubble loach. I'm 6'3". So half of my body is in the helicopter, half is dangling. And I'm gripped to the side because they're flying treetop level. All I can see is trees going on my face.
Woo.
That's crazy.
So
Tell the truth.
when I got to the hospital, the doctor told me I should have been in there for high blood pressure. Because at 18 years old, I was scared to death.
I bet you was,
Then
bro.
I found out because of the impact of my body
Uh-huh.
and the open hatch that landed in the center of my back that I was temporarily paralyzed from waist down.
Yikes.
And only because of a miracle, after about 30 days, I could walk again.
Tell the truth. All right, brother.
That's crazy. You know what? And the part that's really crazy is, you know, if I could flip the script. So you guys went and served in there. I served my time off of the motherfucking state penitentiary,
Hell yeah.
which was almost the same thing. Because you had whites in a leadership position. All the people that handle knives, handle all the good shit. It was all white folks. You know what I mean? The middle level things was like, they gave it to the Mexican people, and the lowest level shit was all the blacks. That's what we had, the lowest level. So when something went down, they all had knives ready. They had everything already ready because they worked with the metal and all that stuff. And they had the keys to the different functions. And what I say is the parallel is that you guys are so-called free out there, but GI means
general issue.
It's a general issue?
Yeah.
It's not a
Government issue.
Yeah,
Government
a
issue.
GI is a government issue, so that means that he's owned by the government, just like the pants, the rifle, whatever it is that you got. Your hat is government issue.
Yep.
When you're in prison, your guardian is the Department of Corrections, which is like the same. It's almost like the same thing. You know what I mean?
Controlled by the government.
Controlled by the government all the way through. And there, when shit go down, it usually goes down against us.
Yes. Talk.
And in the military form, when shit go down, who's in the front line?
Us.
It's the same shit.
But you know, even through all the experience, we got the same education.
Right.
It's a mental thing. It's mental endurance and how to adjust so that you know how to survive. Survival is the key. You know, and it makes you hard in other areas, and it makes you more sympathetic to situations because you have to make mental adjustments in order to deal with it.
You can hear him clear. I understand that. And saying mentally, the same thing with being in riots. You know what I mean? Same thing with being in riots. You never think that it's going to jump off. Or same thing when you guys go into war. You know you're preparing to go to war. But why do you call it an ambush? It's like, fuck, do you think this shit finna jump off right motherfucking now? Oh shit, it's jumping off now. Just like when riots jump off, you go, fuck, it's cracking now. Yeah. And you go into that go zone. You know what I mean? You go into that go zone to where you go, you know, I'm gonna start fucking motherfuckers up. Fuck that. I'm gonna start chopping some shit down. Yes. You know what I mean? Whatever I can get my hands on, I'm stabbing some motherfuckers, I'm beating them half to death. You're not gonna hurt me. Talk. You know what I mean? I'm an ugly, rusty motherfucker. But my people like my ugly, rusty ass looking exactly the same way I look now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that was my main thing that kept me not really getting fucked up when I was going. You know what I mean? I want to come back the same. You know what I mean? I want to come back the same. You ain't hurting me. Ain't nobody hurting me. Ain't nobody doing nothing.
But look what it did to you mentally, though, see?
And just on that, what I would just want to add to that is just that it's crazy that you said you wanted to come back to say, because I didn't. That was when I went and deployed to Iraq. You know what I mean?
I was talking about physically.
Even physically.
I wanted to come back.
Because I was on that.
I mean, you didn't want to go to Iraq and come back and then blew your leg off.
Hell
your arm off.
I was always.
That's what I'm saying. So when you was in there, I mean, cut you off, my soldier. But that was the point that I was trying to make, is that I wanted to come back the same. I didn't want you to hear that, hey, it was a riot. Next time you see me, I'm missing my eye.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I've been stabbed all in my throat. It happened to people that was around me. I seen motherfuckers die and all that shit.
Word.
You know, and just like you guys see people die and when you've been in combat. The cold part about it is, where is the fucking rehabilitation?
Well, they didn't give it to us. You know, just like your Aunt Lori, her old man, Joel.
Right.
He was in the Corps. And when he got out, they were sending him down there to the doctor for a mental evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
He knew something was wrong with him.
Right.
They told him wasn't nothing wrong with it. Yep. He threw every computer they had out the window down there in Mission Valley.
Motherfuckers.
They locked him up for a year.
God damn.
Mental health. You know, and that's the only way he got help. He had to really go a fool in the office. And then they gave him treatment.
Damn.
But they locked him up, though.
Right. And that's the company.
Which was a big difference when they should have dealt with him
in the first place,
according to his need as a human being and respectfully.
And you know, and adding, let me piggyback off of that. It's the same thing. When you gone, you feel like you ain't shit, you ain't nobody. Nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody wants to fuck with you. And when you come out the military, you thought you was part of a family. To come up out there and you go, damn, ain't nobody really fucking with me.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about me.
Correct.
I mean, it's so crazy. You know, you go, damn, ain't nobody give a fuck about me. I'm out here in the wilderness by myself. But the cold part about it is you were by yourself the whole time.
Yeah.
But you were under the belief
that you were a part of something.
That you were a part of something and wasn't even a part of nothing. No. You know what I mean? Because it was all individuals. Even if a bomb blew up right now, we won't even die at the same time. None of us die at the same time. You go when your time goes. A bomb can hit all three of us and kill us instantly. But we die at different times. We're going to die at a different millisecond, a second different. Nobody dies at the same time. You know what I mean? And so the parallel to that is what I was speaking to, from the deaths, the misery, the loneliness, what else? The feeling like you're not really, like you ain't really made it, you know, like not being a whole. The feeling of not being a whole.
But you consistently think about what is going to be your legacy.
Yes.
You know, what is going to be your influence in life with the contact you have with different people in different situations. Because if you out there by yourself and you say, you know, are you going to be remembered? Or remembered for what?
Yes.
You know?
For what?
Yeah, how about that?
For what? Yes.
But it's deep, you know, and that's why if you do have influence or you have family, you want to let them know how important they were to you or they are to you. And every day I try to let my family know that I love them with all my heart and all my being.
We love you too, Pop.
And they know it. I let them know it.
There you go. Hell yeah. Tell them the truth.
Right. And
Sometimes I call my grandkids and I tell them I don't have nothing to say. I didn't really want nothing. I just want to let you know I love you.
How about that? How about that? And you know, and that's one to grow on. Check this out. I'm glad you guys tuned in with us, man. We about to zone on out. As always, as we do. Hope you guys learned something from it, picked up something, and know that the first rule of nature is self-preservation.
Yep.
And you know, as we always do this time, you know it's B. Whoa.
It's the psychotic slump, volume 1.